Okay, hello and welcome back. My name is Guild Navigator, and I'm continuing my Let's Play of Morocco into El Andalus. So the last episode was pretty chill. We were just building up our economy. I had to step away for a second, so this is actually going to be another... I'm coming back again after a quick break, but it's the same day. For those of you guys who care about the details of my recording schedule. You know, I was wondering how many views this video is going to get. My guess is pretty low. Probably average like 20 views on this Let's Play series, is my guess. That mean 20 views would be awesome. I would not complain about that. I have I'm not gonna try to like hide my identity, but I'm also not gonna speak about it like too plainly and too openly. I have some other creative endeavors online. And in general, it always just takes a while for momentum on these kinds of things to build up. You know, there's like an interesting goal is we're just waiting here for the economy, so this is a great opportunity for me to just yap ponderously about life. You know, I was thinking about this in terms of like, when you're an online creative, essentially what you're doing is you're making like a promise to your audience in every video. And then or like in everything that you create, and then when the person follows, when the promise is followed through on, when what's made is high quality, then they're more likely to click on the next thing. And when it isn't, they might walk away. And so kind of like having very good promises, and this is kind of like what a thumbnail is, like a clickbaity thumbnail, like you're promising a lot. So having a good promise is useful on one good dimension because you get a lot of people to click on it. But then you actually have to follow through. So for example, like if I had labeled this video like hanging out with Aiden Ross and put an image of him, I suspect that like it would actually get substantially more clicks. But like that would obviously, they would click on it and then they would immediately be confused because Aiden Ross has nothing to do with it. And then voila. So given that productive efficiency is kind of the same thing as market access, I almost think that there's functionally no reason to build anything outside of your capital. I want to see what this actually looks like in practice in a second, but I want to change more laws, so I'm going to continue to choose the ones with high support, even though I don't even want centralization. So, like in this case, I don't even know if it's worth pushing it to the point of being able to get the next to even pass. Okay, let's go from the top. So, feudal administration, I think that's pretty good. That's fine. Decentralization is nice because I'm trying to go for that. What was this one? Reliance on local tribes. Yep, this one was pretty good. Proximity cost through land. Open borders was good. No censorship. Okay, it's cultural traditions. So armly tradition or maximum tax for peasants. I like taxing my peasants. I will say that changing the laws in this game is a little bit too easy. And I'm not sure what the right trick is. The parliament system seems to work fine in principle for like an England or a France type country where you're not like radically reforming your society. You're just, tweaking some stuff. But I guess they have similarly bad laws at the start to me in Morocco. But it's still just weird. Like it's weird that I'm just able to just completely radically transform my society and no one really cares. And changing the laws, I think the costs of changing the laws are good. Like this seems like a reasonable cost, like something like 100 stability, right? Like I'm making a pretty dramatic change to the power structure of my society, for lack of another way of saying it. But so paper, I don't make very much money on. The scriptoriums, you continue to make just like mad stacks. Okay, so let's look at this. So we're basically producing 1.98. So we have 6 levels of scriptorium. And we're producing 1.98. So basically 0.3 per level. Like 0.33 repeating per level. That's very similar. Which makes sense because the market access is very similar. Whatever. probably should have taken the army tradition. Not that it matters that much, but let's go like here. So let's go somewhere that has like kind of low market access. Do I have any cities with like scriptoriums here in the south? Okay, so Marrakesh. I think that's Marrakesh. Let's see, what's your market access? Do you only have... Bear with me while I try to figure this shit out. You have about, I don't know, 60% market access. 57%. So if I'm understanding this correctly, you should just be like... You're half as productive. Wow. So you're like deleting goods, basically. Building things that you don't have good market access to is just catastrophically bad. Because you still consume the same inputs. That is good to know. That's actually pretty important. Market access seems to almost like be more important than control at some level then. So I'll just build up the area that I have good market access and control in. Yeah, like I said, I didn't even want to get the centralization, so whatever. Eat the stability. Okay, what was this school? Yeah, I don't care. That's pretty good. I haven't figured this out. So this is the satisfaction for which a person can join a rebellion. Where do I figure out what that is? The whole like unrest dissatisfaction system is something that I just like categorically do not understand. And so I just end up often having to use my advisors to kind of like put down rebellions essentially, which is not ideal. So I could call another jihad. Can I call one on Portugal this time? No, but I can call one on Aragon. No, obviously I can't declare war, but if I did, who would join? Sicily would join. Portugal, are you no longer allied with Aragon? They all hate each other. This is like the best possible case scenario for me. Oh, never mind. Portugal and Castile have joined, I think, the coalition together. It doesn't look like they're allied. Yeah, the coalition against Al-Andalus is composed of those two people and random North Africans. I think a jihad against Aragon is actually a good idea because I could just feed my vassals. I don't need to necessarily create new vassals. But I'm also not over... I have some diplomatic capacity, and I'm going to be annexing this person and this person soon. I think this is a good time. Let's do it. I wonder if I could have raised my levies before I declared war and then declared the jihad. Let's see if I go back to call jihad. Yeah, I think I could have done that. I think I could have had my armies all in position. I still only have my my one boat. At least now I've got some armies here on the mainland. Let's just speed 3. A disloyal vassal. That's not great. Yeah, this is the problem. My fiefdoms are all too strong. Are my vassals similarly too strong for me? That's another fiefdom. Jesus. Fiefdom. Fiefdom. Oh, I made a lot of fiefdoms here. This is the wrong way of doing it. Okay, strength of all fiefdoms versus me. Why do I feel like I only have fiefdoms? I definitely have vassals. So yeah, I just have way too many fiefdoms. Okay. I wish that there was an easier way to do this. This is should probably just bring my diplomatic spending to max capacity, and then my armies can go do what they do best. I do have too many fiefdoms though. Are these this will help reduce the power a little bit. You know what? You guys can all just go home. I don't think I need you right now, and I don't really want to ferry you over in small batches. And I believe my vassals will when they occupy. I think I get the slaves. If not from the initial siege, then win the surrounding provinces. So here, like, we'll see here, like what I'd mentioned, this is an earlier video, I'd mentioned that you can just steal works of art instead of making them yourself. Yeah, like, look. This was originally in Sevilla, but I just stole it. Dude, my vassal swarm is just going crazy. I mean, in their defense, I think that they are... Okay, pause. There's actually kind of a large Aragonese army. I may have been a little bit presumptive in my my claim that I didn't need those men. Look, one boat or not, I think I actually have to start ferrying them over. I'll just build another cog, and hopefully that helps out some. In the meantime, I'll content myself with some slave raiding. Holy shit, minus 27 from 11 battles. Yeah, they've been just popping the subjects. Let's add them to supportive instead, and then hopefully they'll stick around with me. Oh, hello. I'm glad I did that. That would have been catastrophically bad. And now I get the -1 roll against them, which is good. Okay, I didn't win, but I did bloody them up a little bit. Yeah, this is not going great. I should have brought those guys over originally. I just got lazy. That's the danger of sloth. One of the sins. Does Islam have like a similar 7 deadly sins? I don't know if that comes from the New Testament or Old Testament. If it came from the Old Testament, I would assume that it's shared, but I don't know. Okay. The one silver lining is that these people aren't very heavy. I'm gonna bring my army down here to the rendezvous point. Okay, you can also fit on the boat. I just end up halving them until they can fit. Like this guy. If they're very small like this one, that's 100. I'm just gonna leave it. Let's do 200. If I just do like automatic transport, it's not going to do it, right? It's not going to split it up. In EU4, if I remember correctly, it would like it would do exactly what I'm doing right now for me. One of many reasons I would like to have a second boat. And like the part of me just wants to wants to call it quits and be like, oh, I don't need this last little bit of the army, but I know that that's a lie. What pisses me off is that they have these 500 weight units and they're not actually splitting them in half. It's probably because there's like some cavalry. I would love to have a second boat. I do think that this new army is going to be strong enough to take the Aragonese down. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's fill our treasuries. I'll take the money. I guess I could have taken the stability. That would have been pretty good. But alas. Okay, I can take the last two over together. And oh, look, almost just in time. Like almost exactly just in time for the army to return. Okay, balanced. And now let's go beat the shit out of them. I've got a pretty good army and the remnants of my vassals who all died. This is I'll say in general that the AI does not consolidate its armies nearly enough. And when I was playing my France game, it was genuinely a lot of fun, just like completely just decimating the enemy armies that would just be coming here. Holy shit, what the hell happened in Germany? There's like no one there. They all died. I guess let's start sieging. Because I think I'm strong enough that they can't fight me with their 11 stack. And this war's not off to a good start. Not off to a good start at all. Am I not buying food? I am buying food. Why are you running low on food? Okay, unmarried adult heir. Dude, you're ugly as hell. Ugly as hell. I have 100 legitimacy, so I'm actually just gonna give you 4 wives right off the bat. Yeah, it's the maximum number of spouses you can have. And then that'll be great. He'll just be pumping out kids. And our dynasty will become enormous. This is a painful siege because they it's a coastal province, right? And then they have the fort there. But I'll get it at some point. There's no rush on this war. I could stop paying for my forts. I think I will. Spending a lot on diplomats, obviously, but that's necessary. I'm spending a good amount, probably too much on cost of court. I don't want to be negative. But I could save some money. So RGOs you don't need good market access for. It's really just these like things that require inputs. Anything that requires an input, you want as high market access as possible. Having more masonry is always great. Cool. Yeah, these are like kind of my 2 big cities right now. I could build some bailiffs in like the more rural areas, but I'm gonna wait until I should have gotten the itinerant court ability. My proximity to capital is not great. I could build roads, which would massively improve this, but I just don't really have the money for it right now. So I'll just keep doing it chill. In principle, you could give me 500 gold, which is not that much. I mean, I'm not going to stiff my nose at 500 gold. Like 500 gold is 500 gold, but it's not something like a life-changing amount of money. Tunis, I like you. I can invite you to join the jihad. Nice. I actually wonder how much they're going to help, because they have a naval levy, but they also don't. They have a pretty good fleet, actually. I've often wondered. Oh, nice! They just smashed that. I've often wondered how far away Tunis and Carthage are from each other, because they seem on a map like this to be in exactly the same place, which makes sense. It's like this is an amazing location in the Mediterranean, like probably the best location in the Mediterranean. I mean, it depends, right? So like the advantage of a place like Rome is that you're connected to the larger, better continent, whereas in North Africa you have limited like basically geographic proximity. It's just this area. But in terms of maritime presence, like I think you're basically like this is the best possible location. Okay, cool. This seems like a pretty good stopping point for this episode. So I'll see you guys in the next one.